Hello and welcome to Daybreak Fraser Valley Weekend. I'm Carrie Moore.
And I'm Kelly Patton. And guess what? This week is Double Guest Week episode.
That's right, we have two guests this week. First, our very own Natalie Bedard, who hosts the Total Wellness series we feature on Daybreak.
Also, we have Helena Paul, the mind behind chillCouture, the Indigenous Fashion, Music and Arts Festival on National Indigenous Peoples Day. And that is coming up in just a couple of weeks.
And our news and events roundup from around the Fraser Valley this week, Abbotsford, Chillt'awkw, Harrison Hot Springs Mission, and of course, all the Langleys.
All the Langleys, Fort, Township, City, it's all there.
All this coming up on Daybreak Fraser Valley Weekend. So, what did you do this week?
Okay, so it was a great weekend. There was sun. There was a little bit of cloud. I naturally
Gardened.
did my garden. But Monday, I actually hosted a workshop in
You
community.
did, and I was on it.
I know.
It was very
Thanks
good.
for the support. Yeah, just
I learned a lot.
helping local leaders across BC actually.
Yeah.
And it was really fantastic. All about leading for change. So that's what I got up to. How about you?
A lot of family. My aunt was in town and my father-in-law was in town to see the babies, so that was kind of nice. Yeah.
I've been seeing pictures. There was a photo shoot, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're adorable.
They are very cute.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that's about all.
so let's drop into the Fraser Valley news this weekend, or this week, I guess.
What happened?
Abbotsford.
Yeah.
So home sales are beginning to recover.
They sure are.
Prices are going down.
Which isn't great for the seller, but great for people that are needing to buy.
Yeah, and stock is, like, things coming onto market is going up.
Yeah.
And it's pretty significant.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly townhouses.
Yeah.
But across all the range.
Still down from like last year, but up from last month.
Yeah, it's good. It's in the right direction. Hopefully that means people are, responding to lower interest rates, but inflation and job security are still going to be an issue for a while.
Yeah. It's very scary. Still on Abbotsford, GFL Environmental Depot. They got top spot for oil collecting in BC again for second year in a row.
Second year in a row.
Yeah.
So they collect oil and antifreeze. GFL, I think Green for Life.
Yes.
It makes a really
You can
big...
bring your stuff into any recycling place instead of dumping it down anywhere.
Yeah, don't
dump
that.
it.
No, it
There's
can
places
really do
to
damage.
do it, and there's even like free days that cities do it, and you can just drop it off.
I love that they do that too, right? You can just bring giant amounts of things that you don't know how to get rid of.
Right. Speaking of getting rid, the longtime buffet restaurant, the Mandarin Garden on Luckakuk, sold and is set to close.
I heard that, and the new owners
Aren't going to open a restaurant.
not a restaurant at all. So I'm not sure. I think
know. We need another buffet. Although buffets,
since COVID,
I know there's a reason
weird
why
about
people have
buffets.
sneeze guards.
Okay, but we know sneeze guards.
Yeah.
They're not
yeah.
it's better, but it's not
Their food
great.
was very good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was worth the buffet feel, I think.
Yeah, you could choose whatever you want. My kids would go there and have fries.
You know what? So we're gonna have not the Chinese buffet next to not the old Pizza Hut,
Right.
right?
There you go.
You're not gonna be able to tell. Yep. All right. So another cool thing in Chillt'awkw, youth tackled really hot topics with the Rotary Climate Change video contest.
Yes, Rotary was trying to figure out how to do an interesting video and realized they're old. That was their quote.
Robin, yes.
Yeah. And so then I actually went and watched some of them, and they were amazing.
Tell me more.
One was actually a video of a little cartoon piece of garlic, and he was going through the different seasons. I don't know what it was about climate change, but he was adorable, and then he sort of died at the end. And all the other little garlics were like, ooh! So, yeah, it was a lot of talent there for sure.
Drama, not comedy. But you can find all of the videos on the Rotary webpage, right?
Yeah, and then they're going to be giving those to schools to show students about climate change.
That's fantastic. We have a lot of awesome film talent, and I think a big part of it is we have a lot of awesome film teachers in Chillt'awkw.
We sure do.
Harrison Hot Springs. So
update from last week.
yeah, the Harrison Hot Springs Resort is in hot water. But BC ordered the resort to restore what is called Hobo Hot Springs. Not a huge fan of the name. I think we can do better.
Yeah.
But
And I think the reason why they put up the fence is because they're going to be doing the restoration. I'm kind of reading between the lines, but people want to still be able to get there. But if there's doing restoration,
then it's not safe. But evidently a lot of rocks and dirt were added, and people are saying that it was the resort that
did it.
that.
Yeah. And they have till September to fix it.
September. So the fences should come down. It's a traditional, it's traditional land, it's traditional spot, and it's medicinal water. So hopefully that all gets resolved,
Straightened
and everyone can go back to just enjoying the incredible place Harrison Hot Springs is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Langley.
Assault charges laid in an attack on a Langley woman. I read that article, and that guy's scary. His rap sheet's really long, so it's sort of the issue, why is he out on the streets?
Yeah, which kind of leads into this little piece where, all of the first ministers or the premiers from all the provinces met with the new prime minister, Mark Carney, and bail reform was actually on the list of things to discuss along with tariffs and things like that.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see some...
Because it definitely has to be Canada-wide.
Canada-wide, and we really have to invest in the upstream causes with poverty and mental health. So anyway,
start investing in our youth instead of trying to fix them when they break, when they get older.
See, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, but we can still be poignant.
Geniuses.
Yeah. Okay. A little bit lighter, maybe. Langley Township, secondary suites, inside townhouses and apartments are on the table now with walk-in suites is what they're called. So those have been approved by council.
Yeah. With little mini things.
Yeah.
We need more housing, so
Different kinds of housing for different kinds of housing needs, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
And in Mission, police are seeking the identity of a boy that was struck by a car while riding his e-scooter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and when we were talking about this, you had said,
What? Why? If he jumped up and was fine,
Yeah.
why? But I understand now, kids could be hiding. He could be really hurt and not telling his parents about it.
Yeah.
It was great that the driver actually stayed, but
That
the
was
kid
fantastic.
zoomed away, so...
Well, and maybe the kid is 100% fine and was just living his best life in elementary school somewhere. But also we know that sometimes when kids feel like they're in trouble, they hide stuff.
Yeah.
And if I were the mom or dad parent,
Yeah, because apparently he did scratch the car a little bit.
yeah, I'd want to know.
As you would, sliding across the hood of a car.
It said he flew a little bit.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I hope the kiddo's okay. The car can be fixed. I hope everyone involved gets a better idea of what happened.
And remember, if you're in an accident, stay both sides.
Yes, absolutely. So
When we come back,
Natalie Bedard. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
welcome back. And so for our first guest today, we get the honor of talking to Natalie Bedard from Total Wellness Fitness.
Welcome.
Honor. My honor. Thank you for having me here.
So I'd love to get to know you a little bit better. Before we jump into your segment, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Are you from Chill'thit'awkw?
So, I've been Chill'thit'awkw for a long time. So, I moved here when I was 22. I am 51 now, so somebody can do the math.
We're telling truth today.
Lots of truth. I've been here for a long time. Before that, born and raised in Squamish.
Yeah. Awesome. And so, and you have a new business here now, right?
So new-ish. I've been coaching again. So I started my career in coaching when I was 15, actually. So I worked in my uncle's gym in Squamish, front desk, then became a trainer, and then worked in gyms over the years until I moved to Chill'thit'awkw. And I was 22, and I ended up working for the Chill'thit'awkw Progress. And I stayed there for quite some time. Great group of people. Went into radio after that, stayed in media for quite some time, so Star FM, and then working in Vancouver. Some TV stuff locally, Shaw TV. Are they to be named? I don't know. But, I did that media for a long, long time, and then circled back to fitness. 2019.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Just
your
before COVID.
Yes, so I started, and then
And then everybody stayed home for 2 years.
yes,
Yeah.
I actually like that. Yeah.
So is it a passion for fitness or for coaching or for both? Or
So fitness for myself, I've always been very interested in fitness and nutrition, and I have had kidney disease since I was a child, so diagnosed when I was 15. And so health became very, very important to me. I have to work for that. So chronic kidney disease and thyroid disease. And so it's an uphill battle to, feel good and feel strong and healthy. So that's really been a passion of mine. And because of staying fit, I've been able to really somehow coast through this dire diagnosis and not have progression of disease. So
Good for you.
if I can impart that to anybody, talk about health and fitness and just improving your life, that's become a passion project. So I share it with others.
Yeah. So is it generally one-on-ones that you do with people, or do you do groups?
Yeah, I started before COVID with groups. I was actually going to a coach who was fantastic and was training should. Shout out to Kirsten. So I went to her groups and she just said, you should come back to coaching. And so I worked with her. And so it was coaching one-on-one and then small groups. And then COVID, so we couldn't coach groups. I stayed coaching one-on-one. Then I opened up my own little boutique gym on our property. Was coaching one-on-one through COVID there because I could do that. And then decided to coach online like every other coach. Right? Every other coach is online now. And really loved that because it gave me the opportunity to educate more. When you're coaching in person, it's like you're counting reps, you're looking at form, but you don't really get that time to build the relationship like I do with online coaching. So
that's interesting.
I coach primarily midlife women, but the odd
one
men.
does.
Yes, as one being one. Yes, so I coach mostly midlife women. I really specialized in that initially because I was going through it. The menopause, what the heck is going on with me and my health and how I'm feeling and my body, and this just is like nothing works the way it used to. So I did a deep dive into that education. And then from there, functional nutrition, macros, you name it. There's so many courses, a long list. So yoga, mindfulness.
So you really tailor make it for each person.
So I've learned a lot of things, and really it comes down to bio-individuality. So there is not one approach that is going to work for you or for you or for me. It really comes down to, can we make it sustainable? So why do something if you can only do it for 3-6 months a year and then you go back to what you were doing?
Yucky habits,
Or even habits that just maybe aren't in alignment with what you want for yourself. So making it sustainable. So that means it's going to be different for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's really fantastic. So going from working with one-on-one and really getting personal to now a segment on Daybreak. We're so lucky to have you, where you can talk to a lot of people. And I know we have a lot of female viewers, and we have just a range of different kinds of viewers. So wherever you are on the spectrum of, understanding or knowledge about fitness and health, and, Natalie's got your back.
Yes.
But what brought you here? What brought you to us?
Fortunate to know Barris and, have the opportunity to have conversations now and then and talk about, anytime I'm talking to somebody, they inevitably know what I'm doing, and I yap about fitness and nutrition because that's my personality. So just the opportunity arose to, hey, why don't we do something where you can talk for a little bit, just touch on a topic, right? I can't really go too deep in, 3, 4, 5 minutes, but I can touch on a topic that is relevant to most everyone and give a few steps of like, here's what you can try. So I can't go as deep as I would in coaching, but it's a little something where maybe somebody will get a nugget, and that might just be the catalyst to them moving forward and getting some traction with their health and their fitness.
Yeah. I think it's fantastic. It's Daybreak's very own Hal Johnson and Joanne McLeod.
All in one. My husband thought you had got to know me really well because the topics were so mean. He's like, did she talk to you?
Calling you up.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
Sleep, stress.
Yeah.
All the things that are relevant to all of us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I think it's been fantastic. So what, do you have any ideas about what's next?
So what's next? I've got a long list of ideas of what's next. So I will definitely want to get into some of the mindset behind making changes. It's easy enough to
Say you want to do it.
Yeah. Say you want to do it, or even know what to do. A lot of people know what to do, but it comes down to the execution and following through. And a lot of it comes down to mindset. So one of the certifications I couldn't recall earlier was mindset health coaching. So working with a PhD in psychology regarding just health and fitness mindset. So I do a lot of that, and really it's not me telling you, it's really helping you find that sense of agency within yourself and that self-awareness. So
Amazing.
A lot more of that. And then, any, of course, just helpful tips that I've experienced myself, that I can talk about, that I have knowledge on or have coached others on. So I think next week we're going to talk a little bit about self-sabotage, and then we'll circle back.
I'm really good at that.
No.
We all are.
Yeah, we all are.
Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, well, thank you.
I'm going to give you a call later, I
Well,
think.
hey,
'Cause,
you can do that.
A lot of those things are like, been looking for her. my whole life.
So mostly you would find me on Instagram, so at Natalie C. Bedard, so my name, and I have a link tree there, so discovery call, you can book one.
Perfect.
All sorts of free resources, a free community, and more things coming. So
Awesome. Well, I will definitely look you up.
thank you.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
And we will be right back with Helena. We are back with Helena Paul. Thank you so much for joining us. So I am now with two comedians. I'm feeling like this might be a setup, but I'm so grateful that you're here.
Thank you for inviting me.
I know we want to talk about chillcouture, but first, I want to get to know you a little bit. Can you tell me about, who you are, what you do?
Yeah.
How long have you been in Chilliwack?
I've been actually living in Chilliwack for about 30 years. Yeah, it's the longest I've ever lived in one place, so it's pretty cool. I have family here from Shxwthit'awkw, and so I kind of have a bit of the roots in there. And I've worked with the Stalo communities probably for a good over 20 years in various capacities. And some of my favorite stuff to do with the communities was events. I really did enjoy putting on different conferences and youth dances and youth workshops and things like that. And you start to learn everybody's sort of talent and who they are. And it's exciting. I really enjoy that. I have 2 kids of my own, and I'm married. And actually, I just finished a plumbing course.
What?
So I might be doing plumbing for the next year. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, totally different aspect of work, but really excited about
What triggered that? That seems like quite a
Yeah.
side quest.
Yeah, very, very different work, right? I just got to the point where I was like, I just want to work with my hands for a while. I started doing food security work and building gardens and things like that for people in their communities and getting them interested in, food sovereignty and just building the beds and using the tools and, it was just fun. I just really liked it. And I said, I'm not that bad. Like, I'm really good with a rigid 300 threader. So I just put that out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So plumbing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're also...
And chill sounds.
Yeah.
Obviously love chill sounds. So excited when I was invited to do some emceeing a couple years ago, and then from there the events keep going, and it's getting so successful. And I just thought to myself, this would be a perfect avenue to do an Indigenous fashion show with music and art. And
that's where chillcouture was born.
chillcouture, Shxwthit'awkw. So Shxwthit'awkw means clothing maker, clothing designer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
So last year was a wild success. It was so fantastic.
Yes.
The music and the performance and the everything, and of course the garments were incredible.
Amazing.
What's in store this year?
So we have 3 female designers again this year, but this year we have Aboriginal threads. So it's Shxwthit'awkw and her daughter Brooke Tobacco. So she does Brooke does a little bit more of like this sort of streetwear. Yeah, and I think I'm giving a little hint out there, but I think Teresa's doing a black dress line. Little black dress. So I was thinking I'm gonna have to buy one. I'm gonna have to wear one. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that. The musicians this year, I have Daniel McNeil, and he's gonna be sort of like the lounge singer that starts from 6:30 to 7. His voice is absolutely incredible. He sounded exactly like Elvis when he sent us his clip. I was shocked, yeah. And the other musician is Kanan Williams, and he's an Indigenous opera singer.
Ooh,
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, and I remember years ago, I was working with Bibiana Norris, and I was like, we should write a Helka Malum opera song. And I was like, but we don't have any Indigenous, and now we found one. Yeah,
Amazing.
so that was like 10 years later.
It all comes back. Yeah.
I mean, you have the bones for like a full like Broadway musical at this
Oh,
point.
yes.
Right? You just add it all.
Yeah. Super, super excited for this year. We also afterwards, so we're gonna have a break, right? And then we're gonna do a coastal jam session. So these have started in the last year or so, and it's really given youth and people an opportunity to go and drum and sing. And then they learn different dances that go with each of the songs. And anyone can get up and participate. You know how sometimes if you've ever been to a powwow when they do the friendship circle? Well, it's kind of like that. But we're adding in there an Ironman competition, it's called. So basically you have 2 categories. You have a 13 and under and then a 14 and up. And they compete at the same time to see who can dance the longest with the most effort and ease and, you know, that kind of thing. So I hear it can be really difficult to be a judge for that. Because you have to go and tap like little kids out and stuff. So it's like, whoa. But it's teaching them the importance of learning how to do the movements and keep your endurance up and keep that strength. And a lot of them are canoe pullers and canoe racers, soccer players.
So really strong.
Yeah.
So it could be a long night.
Oh, yeah, I know. We'll try not to, but yeah.
And that's right after?
That'll be right after the fashion show, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so super excited. And we have the William twins coming to sing for that. So I know that's going to bring in a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
And is it tickets pre-advanced or can you get them at the door?
you can get tickets pre-advanced would probably be a better
Yeah.
idea.
Sold out last year.
Because
Yeah.
we sold out last year, yeah.
Are you in a
So-
bigger venue, same venue?
Same venue, exact same venue. It's so gorgeous. Just maybe next year we'll go somewhere else, but this year we just decided to go again with the Shxwthit'awkw Cultural Center.
It's really beautiful.
It's so gorgeous, and we can fit so many people in there. So we thought if it's going to be big again this year, that might be a really good space.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So, and we will see you there, right? You'll be front and center.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, I love that. It's always fantastic.
Yeah.
And it was such a great time last year. If you don't have your tickets yet for chillCouture, make sure you grab them.
sure.
You're not going to want to miss it. If you've already missed it once, you can't afford to miss it again.
True.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
It's
you.
fantastic.
Thanks for letting you again.
Yeah, really good to see you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we will be right back. Welcome back.
It was lovely having 2 guests this week. We should do that more often.
Yeah, it's really cool. Well, I've always wanted to actually meet Natalie. She was really fun.
Well, and she keeps telling me to have less stress and more sleep. So.
I know. Sean was like, is she just sort of tailoring to you? I'm like, yeah, probably.
We'll definitely have to have her back. And huge thank you to Rivercrest Contracting for being a sponsor on the Total Fitness segment. We love your support.
And wasn't Helena awesome?
Really great. So much vision for building culture in Chill'thit'awkw.
Right? And last year's chillcouture sold out. So it was the very first one. Very much shows how people will go out and do things if you make it interesting and affordable. And so get your tickets.
I was there last year and I have my ticket this year. So speaking of doing things, what sort of choices are there around the Fraser Valley this weekend?
Well, in Abbotsford, we're back to hockey. They're at Game 6 against the Texas Stars, the IB Canucks. And it's the Western Conference Finals. So that's pretty cool that they made it that far.
All right, so we are getting down to the wire here. Tickets as low as $44 and some great hockey action.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable.
If hockey isn't your thing, I know, unbelievable. Then get your laugh on and get out to the comedy roast at Last Laughs on Saturday starting at 9:30 p.m.
That's kind of late, but you could probably do both.
Yeah, you could make the hockey and the comedy. So, I mean, let's hope the game doesn't turn into a comedy.
Right. Yeah.
That's not funny.
Fingers crossed. They're going to win.
Okay. Agassiz.
Yeah, Saturday, June 7th from 3 p.m. It's Family Day.
Oh, at the Agassiz Speedway.
Yeah.
With doors open at 3:30 and racing is set to start at 6, where the action is fast, the vibes are high, and the memories are made. At least
Yeah,
that's what the webpage says.
Yeah.
Yeah, no reason not to believe it.
Yeah, but make sure you bring little
Ear protection.
for your children.
Yeah, or if you just have sensory
Yes,
issues.
it's very loud.
Yeah.
So in Chillowak, if you're all into the little death metal,
You know I am.
right? You could go to the Hawking Show this Saturday at 7 p.m. at Chill House on Alexander Avenue. With guests the 2024 Chili's nominated Amnesia. I heard them play there. It was like, what is happening?
Okay, I love banging my head to some gnarly sounds. No, I don't.
But, you know, we could really give it a try.
I could be that girl. Yeah.
Yeah, you could be. I think my girlfriend's son is in that band.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
she goes. Good for her.
All right. Well, a different vibe is Yarrow Days this weekend.
Yes.
And that includes the dance on Saturday, tomorrow, going from 6
To
till
11 p.m. That's a lot of dancing.
It's a lot of dancing. Yarrow Community Center.
Yes.
5 hours. It's
Yeah, it's going to be sweaty.
Bring
It's
a
going to be
towel.
warm. Yep.
Bring a towel and like your favorite person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And don't forget, Heather's Hope Chest Community Kitchen Shower is also on Saturday at 2 p.m., hosted by Carmen United Church. Dana Martin was on the show a few weeks ago, so
That's
she's
right.
telling us all about
Optimist.
it. Yes, it's going to be
Excellent.
beautiful.
In Fort Langley tonight, starting at 6, we have the Rainbow Rodeo Honky Tonk Dance.
This sounds fun.
Queer country music at Fort Langley Hall, and this is featuring an all-star lineup of BC country queers, Outlaw Country Dance Band,
The Unbranded from Chilliwack,
Chilliwack, yeah, Elise LeBlanc from Victoria,
sassy banjo picker Leah Barley, and gender-bending troubadour Beastie from East Van.
Okay, special guest though includes Cowboy King Heartthrob Butch Sassity from Vancouver.
Love the name.
Yeah. Okay.
It already feels like it's the weekend.
Almost one more workday to get through. So what are we still doing talking?
Yeah, probably get to work.
All right, so
Next week, though,
yeah.
double again.
Double guest.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Haley Tarrant and Jeff Edwards.
Sure, why not? Let's have those double guest episodes. I like them. Yeah.
Have
So
a fabulous Fraser Valley weekend.
everyone have a fabulous Fraser Valley weekend.